It's that time again for EverQuest Next Into the Portal. Your hosts for this evening are Geekdomo, LockSixTime, and Trendane. Let's get to the show right about now. Hello, everybody.
Bonjour, ça va?
All right, this is our EverQuest Next Into the Portal Halloween special. As you see, I spent a long time setting up my costume. I'm an adventurer. What are you?
I spent 30 years working on the docks and another 40 as a lumberjack. I'm not in costume.
Yes, you are.
Oh, I'm Jack Nicholson from One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, or Marlon Brando from On the Waterfront.
And Trendane, you are?
Oh, it's just me.
No, I thought you were Omid with his new hair.
Yes, that's right. I'm Omid with my new hairdo. I felt left out, and I needed to get my hair did. I need to get my hair did. And so this is what I got done. I was going for kind of a Beyonce kind of look with sort of a Monique shape. So that's what this is.
You're fabulous. Absolutely fabulous.
I know.
So hey everybody, welcome to Into the Portal, an EverQuest Next discussion where we are going to talk EverQuest Next and throw out random wild speculation theory and have no basis in fact whatsoever.
Sometimes we just say words one after the other and hope that they mean something.
And sometimes they do. Like sometimes. Throw a bunch of monkeys in a room and they'll type out Shakespeare.
Mm-hmm.
What happened to Zaphos? Well, what's our weekly update for Zaphos this week? What happened with him this week? Last week he was getting plastic surgery, breast augmentation. And
this week he's throwing monkeys into a room full of typewriters.
And trying to read Shakespeare.
Yeah, that's how we got the topics for this week's episode.
It is, and which unfortunately it usually ends up just being a room full of monkey poo stuck to the wall. But
stuff.
Yeah. I think I've had to proofread a couple of those things too.
Exactly. So no Zaphos this week. Howdy, everybody. Thanks a lot for coming. A little bit of our normal show stuff. If you want to ask us a question that you think we might answer, just type it out in the chat window in brackets. So you put question, the word question in those brackets, and then our moderator, Meka, will grab them up and put them into our chat over here. And we'll be able to answer the questions in our Q&A session at the end. One more thing I have to put out is that we have some secret information for you at the end of the show, so stay tuned.
It could be in the middle.
Or it could be in the middle.
You don't know where it is.
It deals with EverQuest Next Landmark. Absolutely. Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun.
Absolutely. Can we even ask any more questions this time? No, you can't ask these questions yet. All right. So let's get started. All right. First topic of the night. Dun, dun, dun. Omid and Pentopod's cruelty.
So vicious.
So who wants to start off what happened? I guess I can start off with what happened. On Twitter, I put out that our show was going to be last night, accidentally. I said it would be on the 24th. And then I believe, Locke, did you put out that it was going to actually be on the 25th?
Yes, I confirmed after Pentapod asked whether it was 24th or 25th.
Right, so Pentapod asked, is it 24th or 25th? Locke says it is actually the 25th, and I was like, oh, I'm so sorry. Mea culpa. So I stabbed myself with a sword, and I thought it was over. But then Omid decided to write back. What did he say, Locke?
He said, it's okay. I'll just play some Landmark instead.
Bastard. That bastard.
The sadistic cruelty of the man. He's drunk with power. He must be stopped.
He must be. He's first off, he's throwing around that he's playing with Beta, and then He gets a haircut. Where is he going to stop? Where does this all end?
Beautiful bastard.
Yeah.
He's going to wind up questing for the blazer of power.
Ooh.
And then there will be no stopping him.
What?
We have to stop him.
All right, so then
We have to stop Omid.
after we said to him, "You're a cruel bastard," he then sent us a picture of Pentapod giving us her landmark face.
Yeah, he said he was going to put out new landmark pictures, but instead he corrupted poor Pentapod into his evil schemes.
So this is landmark face. I don't know.
That's landmark face.
Because you could read so much into that. It could be extraordinarily awesome, or she could have found the biggest show-stopping bug ever.
Mm-hmm. Yes, let's inspect her desk. First off, she has an iPad, and she's got a TARDIS model with a blue something or other on top.
I think it's an octopus.
It could be an octopus, and she drinks tea. Apparently.
Yeah. Mm.
So this is
It's
all
one
very
of-
big clues to what is going on over there in the black box. This is exclusive coverage you're getting right now, folks.
And if you look, her pen is over there. I'll bet she's a southpaw.
She might be a southpaw because there's where the iPod is sitting, or the iPad. She's got orange stickies over there.
Check out the Sherlock on Trendane.
Mm.
Mm.
Oh, I was like, oh God, get off. Oh, you mean, okay, all right.
Little
Got
bit.
Sherlock all over me.
Oh, Benedict. Oh.
All right, let's see.
Yes,
I said
hurry,
that
move on.
We need to be a little bit louder.
First, see the 100-foot statue to Omid that Omid had his minions build inside the paper. He's
Yeah.
drunk with power.
That's not what the emergent AI is for. Worship me.
That's what he programmed them to do.
Midian said that wouldn't the mouse be on the left? Well, she could be ambidextrous.
Mm. Well,
I mean, she's twice as sugary, right? If she's ambidextrous.
I think so. Ambidextrous.
it's hard to get decent left-handed mice, though, isn't it? And then my lady friend person is left-handed. It uses a right-handed mouse.
This is a ambidextrous mouse.
Oh, you got the Razor one. The new Naga's got a left-handed version as well, actually, hasn't
I'm not left-handed, but I'm a claw gamer, so I can't grab it on the. I can't. Galima. Okay, we're digressing really bad. Okay, so on to the real topics. Let's move on to a real topic, shall we? New roundtable response and question.
Oh, thank you for joining us, Omid. Good timing.
Oh, Omid's here now?
Yes, he's here.
He missed out on the whole Omid's evil
that's what
plot.
he gets for being late.
His ears must have been burning.
Something. You have a
I was
cream.
going to say we should save it, but I didn't want to be all arrogant. Anyway, so roundtable response. Omid can find out what that was all about in his own time.
Yes. All right. Oh, he said he heard everything we said.
Sure.
Omid, I didn't mean it. Don't listen to them.
He made me say all this stuff.
I'm on
Here
your
comes the
side.
backpedaling. I meant every word. My gorgeous hair. Shh.
Yeah, this is Omid hair. All right. So, what was the roundtable response and question? Roundtable response. It was about
Public versus private building.
public versus private building, and I think their roundtable responses are really getting good. I mean, they're more clear now with what they're trying to say, and I think they did a good job explaining the different sides of the issue, because you have some people that want to show off what they're doing, and you have other people that want to sell what they're going to be selling, and they don't want people to see how they're building that particular cathedral or whatever it is they're building.
Mm-hmm.
It did. It definitely clarified a lot of stuff for me. I think it's great to see the sort of refinement process of these roundtable responses, because people got annoyed with a few bits and pieces in the past, and it's a learning experience for them. But I think they've really got a handle now on how and the way that they phrase things to be able to sort of gently massage them into the collective consciousness of the players, without getting a sky is falling situation. This most recent one as well, I thought was particularly good because they said at the end, because of the discussion that has come from this, I think it was Terry Michaels that said, they always had a plan to have a private building structure in place, but it's actually moved up the priority list for Landmark. And I think, that's a major point of development in Landmark that's been altered by conversation that only came about because of these roundtable videos. Like, without that question, it's very unlikely, I think, that people would have really rallied around a question like that on the forums and really got involved and stuck into the question of I really want private building. I really want, you can't, maybe lack of the Holy Trinity, you'll get 30 pages on a forum, but private building and Landmark probably wouldn't have otherwise.
And very different answers, like on the IRC chat. Very.
Are you actually over there, Trendane? I haven't been on the IRC chat.
No. IRC so 90s. Oh God.
Oh my God. So
Can you imagine? Can you imagine Trendane on the IRC? Oh.
Why not?
Scandal it would be.
People are talking about our outfits. This is our Halloween special because next Friday will be the 1st, so we're not actually going to be able to do our Halloween show next week.
Oh my God, rent will be due.
Yeah, this is our Halloween extravaganza. Look at our amazing costumes we have on tonight.
Look how spooky everything is.
Yes, woo, spooky.
We decided that spooky was...
The Trendane is very spooky. So...
Spooky.
Oh, but see, Georgeson's Halloween party isn't the second. As Omid once again showing his cruelty, wants to mention that he's going to be at a party with Dave Georgeson.
Wait,
we weren't invited.
Were you not invited?
No, I did not get that invite.
I'm closer than both of you.
Yeah, Trendane lives right up the street.
Sony are sending a jet for me. Did they not? Did they not?
Sony jet.
Do that for you? No.
Before we started shooting the episode, we were doing all the whole Kalima Shukti thing, and what you don't realize, Locke, is that they also were doing the same thing from the beginning of Temple of Doom. You will be riding on a cargo full of live poultry.
That'd be amazing.
Dan Aykroyd.
Oh, can I have Short Round with me?
No.
No. That kid ruined the movie. The whole comic relief, he was terrible. Sorry.
Oh, it's amazing. My name is Short Round. Forget you guys.
The best part was
different
when the ceiling was coming down. That was his best.
No. The first and the third are the only Indiana Jones movies. The second one, Temple of Doom, didn't exist.
Wow, purist.
I presume you feel the same way about the fourth one. It doesn't exist either.
When he flew through the air
he doesn't even acknowledge that
there are odd numbers.
Even in the list of Indiana Jones films that he acknowledges, he doesn't even add number 4.
And we're drifting again.
Yeah. Okay. So the new question on EverQuest Next website was day or night. What do we think? Pretty much.
I've got things. Let me break out my doohickey.
Now, I actually like this question. Whoever's writing the questions, kudos. It was a very good, very well worded question. So definitely awesome on that. Omid, you can give that person a big hug. And they did a great job with the question. And I think it's pretty conclusive, right? Locke, what's the score right now?
The score right now is it's a bit of a landslide at the moment. I was surprised and very pleased to see that the majority, because it is a majority, because it's not a plurality, which is a word that I learned recently. But it is a majority of people say that they want the nighttime to be, almost a different world state. They want the fact that it's nighttime to to have an extra element of danger or a slightly different feel.
Zombies,
to it. I think that's just wonderful. Like there's so many ways to interpret that and so many different things you can do with it. But I just think it's great that the community are really getting behind, really rallying behind. I'm going to keep using the word rally. Really rallying behind the idea of just creating a world, having a world that makes sense, and having that world is where you play. You don't exist in a persistent environment, while you're in a queue for a group finder, to do theme park content. It's like, you actually, the way that the world operates around you is, an important factor in the game, and I think that's absolutely fantastic. So big thumbs up to everyone who chose the correct response in this roundtable.
What do you think there, Trendane?
Well, a couple of things. One, I too voted for the, you're damn right that nighttime should be dangerous as all hell. But it also made me wonder. I mean, I know that the land is procedurally generated as you move out, but does it ever form a globe?
No, it's Discworld. We talked about this. It's riding on the back of a turtle that has 4 elephants that are holding up. The 5th one fell off and turned into salt. Or no, treacle. It was a treacle mine. Yeah. The
treacle mines, yeah.
So
there's a day-night cycle in Discworld, isn't there? Because light moves slowly. So as the sun goes over the top of the Discworld, the light lags behind it and moves across the disc. So I think what Trendane is getting at is it going to be day in one part of the world and night in another part of the world? Trendane.
That was exactly what I was going to ask. Was will there be, like, if you were on this planet and you were on one side it was daytime, then on the other side it would be night, and yada yada. I know we don't have fast travel, but kind of. But thought to have fast travel.
Can we have clacks?
Oh, clacks would be amazing.
I think they have a cream for that.
They might. Pentapod just showed up, so I have to show Pentapod her picture.
I think she knows what her.
Didn't she tweet it?
Right. I stole it. I put it up on the. It's up there now.
But now we can ask the really pertinent question.
Oh, what kind of tea was she drinking?
No, Southpaw or not.
Oh,
that's what everybody wants to know.
Oh yeah, are you a Southpaw? Because we notice you have a pen on your left side, and a iPad on the left side, and a tea on the left side next to your TARDIS refrigerator. I'm guessing that's a TARDIS refrigerator. It holds 1 beer.
1 beer.
It's a really thick beer.
She pours into a teacup carefully so as not to spill any on the iPad, and then she plays Landmark.
Yes, that is a TARDIS refrigerator. It has been confirmed.
TARDIS fridge is confirmed for Landmark.
That's all we really are talking about, everybody. For this game thing that we were just...
Right,
Can that be the title of the show, please?
Yeah, TARDIS refrigerator.
I don't know why that tickled me so much.
600,000 times as much, moldy college food left in the back of it somewhere. So the other thing was, somebody had asked, are there animals that are nocturnal? Are there
raccoons?
And I was thinking, that sort of thing, or animals that only come out to hunt at night. Like during the day, they're in a cave. So it's like at night you go into the cave to seek shelter, and the cave is empty because whatever lives in there is out hunting. But when it comes daytime and they come back, and somebody's sleeping in my bed, and we have a Goldilocks and the 3 really, really hungry cougars who had a really shitty night of hunting, there you are, laid out like a buffet, and it's awesome. But the other thing was, I'm
really I want to see their response to this, because I'm curious to see what they're going to say, like what kind of monsters or anything that could be coming out at night, because that could change the game completely.
Well, there's so many things you could do with it. I mean, not just animals coming out of caves, which hopefully is doable with the AI system, but things coming up from underground might be another one, or vampires coming out of coffins could be one. If you're going to make the night more dangerous, perhaps some kind of lunar cycle could be included. Maybe I'm taking it too far now, but
you want to take it too far?
Just everything with it. We could never go too far.
No. Here's how I take it too far. The note that I have written is day and night cycles, weather, fishing, time of day, and temperature. Because if you're fishing, the time of day that you go fishing, you're going to. Different fish might not be biting in the afternoon that there are in the morning. And also with the weather.
Are we reading into this too much that they might have emergent AI on fish?
Maybe. They could be very dangerous fish.
They could nibble your feet.
If you take it as a sort of gathering thing, if like animals could have AI, then why couldn't fish have AI? Why couldn't they prefer to be in a certain part of a stream, or
they only prefer bread or worms.
Yeah. Why not? Maybe they're attracted to different food sources. Maybe
and then, of course, after it rains, fishing is always terrible right after it rains. See, animals varying from day to night, nocturnal animals sleeping in caves during the day, flowers that only bloom at certain times of the day. So your herb harvesting changes. Like, you wouldn't even know that plant is there because it only blooms in the morning, like morning glory. It only opens up during the day and it closes at night, so you wouldn't see it.
We might be asking too much for this game.
Oh, way to show some confidence in the people that are making the game we want to play so badly.
We're definitely going into speculation. I'll say I'm not sure about that actually, because that's kind of that seems to me the type of thing that if someone was a herbalist, they'd go and look up on the wiki what time of day the flower that they particularly wanted would bloom, and then they'd grind for that and complain that they couldn't do it all day, because that's what players do, isn't it?
Yeah.
Although, for me, I would like it.
That's where, like, companies like EA don't really like me interacting with the player base very much, because I tell them shut the fuck up. I'm like, shut up. Shut up. What you want is a button that you push and you are level 85 and you've got all the gear. You don't want to grind for anything. Okay, so yeah, that was my point for that.
Excellent.
Thank you. You may go and
people are saying that players complain that games are too hard.
Well, I'm not saying it would be something that was too hard. It would just be something that the spreadsheet or the database or whatever would it'd be up online, available to view within a week of the game coming out. Smart people would work that out, and then it'd become a real sort of chore type of thing, in my opinion. Like, rather than making it feel like the world was more alive, it'd turn into players themselves would turn it into a grinding exercise. I think like a system like that. Whereas if it was something like Trendane was talking about fishing, like after rain and things, if the rain occurred at random times, or if there was a weather system that dictated when the rain would happen, then I think that would be cool, because it adds variety and it adds possibility space to the world. Whereas if it's like a regular clockwork thing, then
every day at noon on Tuesday it always rains.
Exactly. Yeah. It's like players will optimize towards boredom, and if there's something that can be measured, then players will find a way to find the best way to do it, and the most
totally
tedious, grindy way.
I want to see random weather effects.
Yeah.
And I want to see seasons. I think those two things together with a day-night cycle would be important.
And I've got something else for weather, but I'll save it for the Q&A section.
Well, you can say it now. We're on the topic. It's okay.
Well, we're kind of on the topic. We're talking about day and night cycle, not weather.
Okay. All right. Well, let's move on then to our next topic. Pre-beta warm-up. Okay, everybody.
This is where you do your calisthenics while you're waiting for the beta to kick off.
You do this with your wrists.
Fat son bitches like me can lose weight and be ready.
And you must get up every 4 hours and move. Okay, no, pre-beta warm-up. What we're talking about is that you have to get your stuff ready, because beta is coming. Just like winter.
Get your affairs in order.
Get your affairs in order. Make sure that you do not have EverQuest Next blocked or going into your trash can or your spam folder, because that will be the time the beta key comes through.
That always happens that way. I bet that's where my invitation to that damn party went.
Get your affairs in order is right. Make sure you tell your boss, I will not be in for the next 2 months. Make sure your wife is okay with feeding the children while you have an IV hooked up to you and adult diapers.
And I was going to say catheter, but okay.
It'll be fine. I'll just do Player Studio full time.
Yeah, I'll make a living selling bricks. Bricks.
The best bricks. But yeah, so this is coming obviously from a tweet by Duxella saying, get your affairs in order, make sure you're signed up, make sure emails are coming through. We know that another landmark video is coming up soon because of the photo of Terry Michaels, Dave Georgeson put up making another video. We know that a lot more landmark information is probably going to be dropping in the next 2 or 3 weeks, and winter is coming. So if we add up all those things together, it means that Pentapod is left-handed.
And she has a TARDIS
and
fridge.
She keeps beer in her TARDIS fridge. That's what's right now.
Yeah, it's looking more and more that we're going to have some beta pretty soon. So
Dwarven beer, very short, very thick.
Very stout beer.
Yes, stout especially. One good word for it.
Omid says they're going to have another dev diary out next week. Not 100% sure, but I think we'll make it. Cool. I like those dev diaries. They're really good.
I guess my other question was for Omid, because you mentioned the thing in the newsletter, and I was not sure which newsletter you meant. I presume that because I looked in my email box and I didn't see a copy, so I thought now he's made it just the internal newsletter, and I don't get to see it or anything. Oh my god! What am I supposed to do? Let's move on to another topic before I keep talking like this forever.
Omid just said we're going to like them a lot more when they have gameplay footage in them. That is an understatement beyond understatements. The entire reason I started doing EverQuest Next into the portal was there was nothing else to show in my videos. I did 28 videos with the same footage.
It's just Omid reveling in his new evil persona.
Back to the topic at hand. Number 1, Omid and Pentapod's cruelty.
Back to your evil wizard's tower. Oh, that I assume you have.
I'm shaking my fist.
Get the heads.
Yes. So yeah. Hopefully we'll get some new footage. That would be fantastic. And then every single person who makes YouTube videos is going to use that same footage about 400 times. Look here. And in the corner of every one of those...
I'll just sit here and talk.
In every one of those videos, though, from now on, I'm going to put a little TARDIS refrigerator in the corner.
Yeah.
As an Easter egg.
They'll
be linked through time and space.
Mm.
So you can...
To a realm of eternal fresh beer. Ooh. Next.
Omid's picking on my did I... Oh, yes.
Use your words.
My words?
Just breathe.
I forgot the apostrophe S.
Ah.
Oh.
Thank you.
Pale ale for the win? No.
He's leaving for a few minutes. Good. Now we can go back to talking about him.
Pale ales are good. I like autumn nut brown ales, especially right now. One of my favorites right now is Sierra Nevada Tumbler. Perfect for adding to chili and drinking with chili. Absolutely.
Where is your beer tonight, Trendane?
I don't have any.
It's horrible.
No.
I'm a lady of class. I drink tea.
I'm drinking
lemon
water.
You should try the Goose Island IPA if you haven't already. It's a phenomenal specimen, so it is.
All right, so I guess we're done with that. Next topic. Oh, before we keep going, everybody, make sure you write question like some people are doing in there. Write the question in the parentheses, and then we're going to have Meka is grabbing the questions and sticking them over here in your chat so we can read them. They need to convert me to the ways of tea. I'm a tea drinker. I like tea. Earl Grey. Just because I'm a Trekkie. All right, next topic.
Patrick Stewart has, damn it.
Yeah. Patrick Stewart raised the amount of Earl Grey tea being sold throughout the world. The EQ Nexus Extra Life Marathon. So everybody who is here tonight, remember that coming up on November 2nd, there's going to be an Extra Life Marathon. And what is Extra Life? Well, basically, everybody who is going to be on the particular team for EQ Nexus will be playing a video game of some sort, and they're going to play it for 24 hours. and you can pledge, or you can watch on Twitch, and you can join in with the fun and revelry and donate some money. The money doesn't go to the person streaming. It goes to children, and the people that are playing pick the children's hospital that the money will be going to, and the money goes directly from you to the children's hospital. So,
I was laughing about Ladian's question of will they be playing Landmark? No.
Oh yeah, see, Omid forgot to mention that they're going to be giving us all beta keys so that we can do the live stream with beta.
Oh yes.
24 hours. You get a beta key.
You get a beta key. Everybody gets a beta key. No.
Stay tuned to the end for a special announcement.
I might just play EverQuest 1 just to show the beauty of the old game.
You know what? I was thinking about that. So I've never played the original EverQuest. Ever.
If you want to play it like the original, and everybody who works for Sony right now, hold your ears. There is Project 1999. And you can play that. And it's exactly the way the game came out when it first came out, with I think Shadows of Luckland expansion.
You also have to run a second box with View EQ running so that you can see where all the mobs are.
None of that stuff is there. It's the Shadow of Luckland interface on the old EverQuest. Before the and Get Lost, yes. And I played it once for about 45 minutes. I was stuck inside of Nariak.
So, I thought, what better opportunity to bust my EverQuest cherry.
There you go.
Yeah.
It'll be good.
Could be.
Everybody in the
go on to now. Is that I assume that's a server.
Yeah.
I know nothing about it. I'll be there going, so WASD to move, yeah? I got this.
I got it.
Where the PvP at?
The funny part was when I was doing the auto attack. You set it up to attack, and you sort of sit back like this and let it go. I'm so used to actually doing something like hitting keys and casting spells. I just set it to hit with my dagger, and the guy's like over and over again.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Anyway, so everybody go over to eqnexus.com and check out their Extra Life Marathon. It's going to be on November 2nd, I believe. Double check real quick. And all the money goes to
nothing better to do with your money.
Yeah, I mean, it's not. You can donate like $1 if you really wanted to, and then that money goes to a kids' hospital. So it's really worth it. And I believe they even use it for research, but they also do buy the kids toys sometimes. Like that's another one. That's Child's Play. Sorry, Child's Play. They take the money and they put it into buying the kids gaming consoles that they can take home with them when they're out of the hospital. That's pretty cool. All right, so we're going on to Q&A time.
Q&A time.
Q&A time. So here we are. It is Q&A time. Okay, so... Oh, wow, we have quite a few questions. I didn't realize there's this many questions already.
Sweet.
All right, so first one from Coin and Cleavage. Love the name. The image that goes in my head, just even saying the name is just amazing. Yep. Bloop, bloop.
Unless it's brass, and then it's like an entire manhole cover with a coin.
All right, Coin and Cleavage says, where can I get myself some voxel potpourri? I heard it smells like victory. Potpourri. Yeah, I totally mispronounced that. Potpourri.
Coin and Cleavage asked me what voxel potpourri smells like, and it smells like victory times victory times victory. Which is
like
hilarious. Which is hilarious.
It is a cubed victory. But let me ask you, you're not voxel potpourri. You're the voxel.
It's voxel populi. Because Latin-based puns are also hilarious.
Okay, so I had never heard that pun before until I saw your show. I never looked it up, but then now I see it everywhere. I'm looking all over the place, and it's everywhere. And where did that come?
Populi, innit? Vox populi, voxel populi, voxel potpourri smells like victory cubed. Victory times victory cubed.
See, Vox Populi is Sean Astin's show. So if you follow him on Twitter, you'll see him talking about Vox Populi.
Okay, so what is it? Okay, what is Vox Populi?
The term Vox Populi.
Yeah, what is it? That's what I'm asking. I'm literally asking you.
But it's a Latin phrase that means the opinion of the man on the street.
Oh,
yeah.
So you're the opinion of the cube on the street.
Yes.
Very nice.
Because voxels.
I like that. I like the tie-in. There's a great tie-in right there.
If anyone was wondering. Yeah.
Okay. Do you have any? There's nothing for you to answer there, is there, Trendane? Because you could speak, but go ahead.
I mean, my weather question does involve voxels, but we'll just.
We'll get to that. We have lots of questions.
Oh yes, I know.
Cool. All right, Gordinak. Why am I the one asking these questions? I mean, I can't read.
Because you're so good at it.
We claim plots in the overworld. Will we be able to claim plots in one of the lower tiers? I like the overworld word. It's a good word.
Overworld's a good word.
Okay, so let me just say this is an opinion. I'll answer this one first. Minecraft, there's a mod that you can get if you play on a public server which allows you to claim a square spot. But it's also a cube. You claim all the way to the infinity in the sky and all the way to the infinity down below. That's your claim. And I'm hoping they'll do the same kind of thing with this. Is Omid or Pentapod still around? Maybe they can clarify.
I think they've gone to meetings. I think the last official response I heard about this was that they want us to be able to claim underground, but because of the way the procedural generation, because they want the underground spaces to be quite sort of mutable areas where, they're
but what if you could dig a hole
generated? So,
but you could dig a hole into somebody's floor, and then all their stuff falls through.
That won't be possible unless you allow them to. But in terms of actually being able to build things, to build permanent structures underground, they're still working on the tech, I think. So maybe give Stephen Klug a tweet and see how he's getting on with that.
I would kind of hope it would be completely all the way to the infinity below.
I hope so. But I think it opens up so much, doesn't it? If they want us to be spending a lot of time underground and we can't build anything in Landmark underground, I think that that'd be mildly disappointing to me.
Yeah. Go ahead there, Trendane.
I was going to say, in legal parlance, if I remember correctly, like if you buy a house, unless you purchase the mineral rights to the land that house is on, you don't own what's underneath the foundation. But if you own the mineral rights, then you do everything under it belongs to you as well. So similar sort of thing, I think.
Yeah. Good point. Dig says, I'm not sure about infinity below. I think it's at least one tier. One tier is good enough. I mean, as long as they just can't build something below you. Like, what if they build up something all the way to the bottom, and then they put bombs on top of it, and they blow up your place, or put baby dragons in your...
That won't affect with it unless you give them permission to alter what's on your plot. No one else can affect anything that you...
This is a problem, and this is something and this is part of this same whole issue. If you have a plot, it's a square plot, and it's just, we'll just say it's 1 acre, okay? There is nothing that says that the person that is right next to you can't dig a hole and block you from entering your plot from that side. Like, they could literally dig some big canyon, and if you got enough people together, they could cut you off completely. I mean, if you had 6 accounts you'd need, right, to cover every plot around that plot, you could literally carve this big, huge crater into the ground, and you would block people from being able to get to their own land.
That's brilliant.
I mean, griefing comes to a new... Because the reason I say that is I saw a video once where this guy had that thing in Minecraft where he could protect his house all the way to the sky and all the way below, right? And this guy planted lava all the way around his house, and the entire area around it was covered in lava.
Yeah.
Where it didn't destroy the house, but it made it completely impractical to live there.
Well, I mean, that's assuming that the plots will fit together edge to edge. Mm-hmm. That's one thing. If they didn't fit edge to edge, then you could build a massive trench, but then whoever was doing it could just build a bridge over the top, presumably, or use one of the adventurers' movement skills to get over the top.
They're going to need to hire, and Happy Hansel just said they're going to need a zoning commission to set up right of way and driveways and parkways and
Well, I mean, hopefully the worlds and areas we'll have will be big enough. Because I know, like, if you don't like where you are, you can just pick up your flag and move on. And hopefully, if the plots aren't flush against each other, then hopefully there'll be enough room in between to stop people doing that.
So Omid just said something in chat. I didn't see it. Everyone's saying thanks. Did he confirm something? I didn't see it.
Still working on the system. Beta will help finalize, but there's going to be space between plots.
Okay. Thank you. I don't know why my Twitch chat is acting all flaky.
It's probably Omid's fault.
Could be.
Or to his credit. Depending on
right.
if he wants the credit or the blame. I don't know.
All right. Legendary Neurotoxin asks, frog-lock legs can be harvested for food. Cannibalism if frog legs eat it. Can humans' legs be harvested for Ratonga dinner? This is something I've always wanted to do. I mean, if you can skin a deer in a game, could you not skin an ogre?
Yeah, I think that'd be incredible. I think it's definitely something that could be implemented as long as there were repercussions to it.
Making a nice armor suit out of ogre skin.
Yeah, like if you made an ogre skin suit and then tried to walk into an ogre camp, that's probably not something. That's something that they'd be happy about.
Bob, what happened to you? You look so weird.
Mom. Who knows that?
I don't know. I think that they should allow you to skin humanoid races, but I guess you have to draw a line somewhere.
If there's a morality system, if there's life of consequence involved, in a sandbox game, like it's all about the tools that you give to the players to create their own experiences, isn't it? So you give them the tool and you create a consequence for using the tool, and then that's creating possibility space, isn't it? It's creating things that players can do within your game.
It puts the lotion on the skin.
That'd definitely happen.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to go that far, you might as well dig a pit,
Oh my god, I'm so looking forward to the machinima for this game.
I know, right?
It's going to be incredible.
The problem is that urine, ogre skin is so tough, you would have to urine cure it. And that would, it stinks bad enough as it is. But to cure it with urine and salt.
What about dark elf skin?
Oh, that you can cure that with mayonnaise.
It's very very soft. All right, so next question from Esos24. Do you believe that Landmark is published this year?
You mean that it will be?
I'm guessing, yeah. Do you believe Landmark will be published this year? I'll paraphrase it.
Temporal verbs are kind of important.
Yeah. You might not be an native English speaker.
It's possible.
As in a full release before January the 1st. No.
Beta's coming.
I don't. Winter is coming.
Mm-hmm.
Beta is coming. I'm sure we'll find out more about that very soon. But the full game, I don't think is going to be out before 2014.
I don't either. Just my 2 cents. All right.
I don't know what else to say about that.
Okay, next question. Where does Omid... This is from Midian. Where does Omid buy his suits? And Omid's back, so maybe Omid can say, where do you buy your suits, Omid? You're a very stylish GQ guy. As we wait.
How can I answer that? Well, I get some online and the rest from shops.
Gentleman's Warehouse.
Surround.
I'm going to love the way I look.
Got this one at Goodwill.
Yeah, we'll see if he answers back.
This jumper I got as when I completed 10 years of service on the docks.
Yeah.
It was a proud day.
My yellow shirt, I paid a lot of money for this.
My dad was there, he looked down at me, put his hand on my shoulder and said, I've always hated you, and he just pushed me into the sea.
Yeah.
I learned a valuable lesson that day.
Don't trust your dad.
Yeah. Do we have another question?
Yeah, let's go to another question, because because we're gonna wait for that one. Okay. From Timeout Band Knuma 99 X2743. Open dungeons or instance, which do you prefer? LOL.
Oh, open or instance? Oh god. I really hope that they don't use instancing for dungeon type content. Hopefully, we know the nature of a sandbox game means that you don't want people just running the same content over and over again to sort of grind for it. We know that they want a sort of contested content system where it's important to be the first people to get there. I think if they want exploration in a wide world, it makes sense to have to go out and find things to do. I think as long as the world is populated with enough meaningful content that is scaled to different levels of difficulty and different sizes of groups, hopefully, especially with Landmark as a tool that they can use as well, hopefully there should be enough for everyone to do without having to resort to instance dungeon content, which I don't think that's going to be in there, is it?
Instance no, I've not heard of anything about instances yet. How about you, Trendane? Anything? No. So I think it's probably
I think
world.
instancing can be a useful tool for storytelling. I think with EverQuest Next, possibly there might be some sort of quest chain with the main villain. Is something I've been thinking about a lot in this kind of sandbox environment. If you want to tell a story, but you want to have an open world that you explore and have contested content within, is it possible to create a meaningful villain? Especially if only one group ends up actually being able to take the villain out. Would that be a bit of an anticlimax for other people if you log in one day and it's, oh yeah, that other guild took them out? Red Guard found it.
Yeah, I do see the point in that. That part of the instancing I do like, because otherwise everybody in the server could just fly up and attack the thing.
As long as it's story based. I'm not talking about having like a top tier of raiding content that you have to work towards. I'm just talking about in a way to deliver story. I think it can be good. Legendary
Neurotoxin has a good point here. Instead of instances, procedural events would be better. Stumble around and find random procedural encounters, maybe something made by EQNL user that will only be there until the boss is defeated or the group has been pushed away. So yeah. Those are good. And that's something new.
Trigger events as well.
Trigger events, yeah.
Could be something quite interesting. That
that is confirmed.
I think this is what is talking about, where if you do a certain thing in a certain area, it triggers an encounter. That could be quite cool.
Yeah, definitely, and that is a confirmed feature, the trigger events, because they did talk about if you're doing some event and you're building the walls of Halas, and then all of a sudden the walls are built, like something you did out in the world, either you brought enough wood back or you killed enough orcs or whatever, that now the walls are up. So that could definitely play out that way for the other thing too. For instance, for dungeons.
So would you then have to rely on phasing, or does it mean that once you have brought back, or enough people have brought back enough wood, that everybody events, sees that things
it's everybody, yeah. But it would be
the way the rallying calls work, isn't it? Once it gets to a certain success state, like once it reaches like a tipping point, then it moves on to the next phase of the encounter, but for everyone. It's just how rallying calls are. I was thinking, maybe just peppered throughout the world. I think that, Dave Georgeson likes to talk about it a lot as well. The idea that, as you go out and you interact with the world and you affect the world in very meaningful ways. And that can be, mobs moving to a different area because they don't like where they are anymore. But I was thinking maybe you could end up with much more direct effects. Maybe there could just be a well in a field, and you go to the well, and you're the first person to pull a bucket out of it, and that disturbs a big monster that's at the bottom of the well, and then decides to come out.
Eat your
things
face.
like that. Things like that could be quite cool if it's possible.
All right, next question. Should there be a global broker auction house, only local broker auction house, or no broker auction houses at all? We've talked about this quite a bit before, but we could talk. I mean, this is from Gordon Q, so maybe they're new to the show. But I think it should be local auction houses that you can see what is available on the other auction houses, but you actually have to travel to them.
Mm-hmm.
With a huge caravan full of stone that you want to sell there.
Mm-hmm. And if you wanted, if say you're up in the northern area and you want to take stone down to the southern area because they don't have any available down there, then you actually have to carry it. And when you get down there, you can sell it at a premium because that's how it works.
And you have to.
But then but as long as as long as it's a choice. If it's a choice to do that, if it's a choice of where you buy something or where you sell something, then it's risk versus reward. It's the amount of effort versus how much you want it. Just now, what is the value of the item to you personally? Is your time more valuable to you than your currency? It opens up a whole new sort of web of decisions for the player: opportunity cost, player agency, having to move goods around the world as well. It creates a lot of possibility space for emergent gameplay and sandboxes and lots of game designy type words.
I was actually going to say,
and it makes the world more of a world. It makes decisions important. I think, especially in a sandbox environment. It makes it important whether you travel somewhere or not. And I think that's so cool. I just think that's great. Having to make those decisions.
Absolutely.
When you mentioned having to cover all that distance, and it gives a lot of opportunity for emergent gameplay. One of the first things I thought of was when I first started looking into EQ Next and everything, and the concept of emergent AI came up, and that one of the very first questions I ever asked was, what if you're doing this caravan where you're taking the stone or wood or whatever, metal, what have you, from point A to point B, and there's a party of ogres who ambush you and they take your stuff. I've just suffered a cascade failure and forgotten where I was going with that particular thing.
But then that's it, isn't it? It's opportunity cost. It's risk versus reward.
Risk versus reward, yeah.
Can I then get it back off the ogres?
Can you come back and kill that exact tribe
to protect my caravan? Will other players attack my caravan?
Which kind of feeds into the point that I finally remembered what it was that I was going to say, is that you would have two options. One is the caravan actually moves through the game world, and there's every chance that you might get raided or ambushed or whatever. The other option is you can hire an NPC caravan group to move it from point A to point B, and it's guaranteed to get there without being raided. Right. But it takes time, and there is no, here, just give us some station cash and it'll be there right now, and we'll skip the whole pay to win thing. But that was my thought.
That's perfect. That was fine.
Yeah, right. I think that's great. I think it'd be cool if the one that definitely got there was maybe slower than the one that existed within the world, or maybe it cost more or something. Just opportunity cost. I like.
I do too.
That's
okay.
Cool. That's a good idea.
Next question. How often is Locke confused for Cat Stevens?
I've been in the last 3 days. I've been asked if I was Muslim twice.
Well, the hat doesn't help. Or,
Yeah. Well, I haven't got a problem with that. I'm just saying that's a thing that's happened to me this week. Normally I respond, no, I'm just homeless, and then they go away.
Wait, give me 20 quid, come on.
Just by strangers just walking up to me in the street and just asked me. In fact, one guy didn't walk up to me in the street. He walked in through the service entrance of the place that I work into my kitchen with a bottle of Jack Daniels at 8 o'clock in the morning to ask me. So that's a little window into my world. It's just a thing that happened.
No, I guess Domino Penapod just says, "Are we reading too much into this? that there might be emergent AI on fish. No comment, but this amused me. So she just tweeted that out. Thanks, Panapod. Okay. Another question. Another question from Esos24.
Emergent AI for fish confirmed.
Definitely, we have it confirmed from her mouth. Okay.
She said all of the words in a sentence.
Says, there are pets in EQN. What kind of role pets get? Same as EverQuest. We have no confirmation of classes. I'm sure there's going to be some sort of Ranger Hunter class with pets. I can almost guarantee that. That's a total class that I love to play. I will think that there's going to be necro pets. I mean, there's going to be necromancers. I want to see good old-fashioned Harryhausen bone statues walking around as pets. But what do you guys think?
Yeah, that'd be cool. I mean, hopefully the whole range, non-combat little pets that follow you around.
Those are fun.
Maybe companion pets, like other, intelligent race NPCs that could follow you around. Maybe we were talking about the trading caravans. Maybe you could have a merchant that would actually, follow you around in the world, like in a non-combat capacity, or a squire or something. That
Squire would be good
for a knight class or something.
Yeah, have some sort of nobility.
There's so many interesting things that you can do with pets and companions. But I'm sure there will be combat pets, and I would be amazed if there wasn't non-combat pets that they can put in the cash shop as well, and skins.
That's a great moneymaker.
Like and stuff as well, weren't there? So
right now, Sony, if you're listening, skins for your pets. So
That's
like you
good.
could have say you got a tiger, you could have like a normal tiger, then they could sell like a moderately cool tiger, like a white tiger, and then they could sell like a flaming white tiger, and they could charge more money for that because that's more rare.
And was once owned by Siegfried and Roy.
And then they bid us out. Yeah.
But then you make it possible to get all of those mounts through gameplay as well, whether that's with a Plex system or whether it's just getting them in game. So like if you buy one directly from the cash shop, you can go, no, I didn't use the cash shop. Got it in game.
Yeah, because there is a problem with that. Because in World of Warcraft they had the that one mount, that the winged mount that was see-through. It looked like celestial stars. Yeah. And Total Biscuit did chew that one up. Didn't he call it the stupid pony or something like that?
Sparkle Pony.
Sparkle Pony, yeah. Which you could earn in game, which almost nobody did, or you could pay $25 just buy it.
Could you earn it in game?
Yeah, there was a different version of it. It was like a gold one versus the.
Oh, right, okay. I thought that was the whole sort of controversy behind it, because the fact that you just bought it, so as soon as you bought it and as soon as you used it, people would be like,
"You look like a tool."
Bought that from the shop, like why?
Yeah, you look like a tool. No,
yeah, especially in that game where mounts are such a prestige item. It seems a little silly to me to go doing that sort of thing.
Although, if you were just starting out and you had never played World of Warcraft, to buy a mount is probably not such a bad idea. I mean, at least gets you in the game and you can travel with it. But now they're so cheap, I mean, for whatever. But yeah, so I can see that would probably be a problem. So if they do have skins in the store, they should make them available as regular, or unless you want to be kind of called out as being a tool. But, in a game like this that's going to be free to play, is it so wrong to support the game that way?
Oh yeah, that's absolutely what I think. I think it's great spending money in cash shops, but I think there is a certain amount of stigma attached to doing it at the same time. There's a part of a player base in every game that will look down on people who have just bought things. It's the hangover it's the memory of the page in games, isn't it, where people go, oh, you just bought that, you didn't earn it. And then you go, shut up, I got it. I'll work 50 hours a week, I earned it.
And Shattered Hope just brought something up. In Guild Wars 2, you could explore and go find those pets in nature, and exploration is better than paying for stuff.
The ranger pets, yeah.
Yeah, but now but here's the thing. I got my entire Hall of Monuments done before the game came out. So I had all of these super rare pets that they gave us for the Hall of Monuments. But if you played PvP, you got those pets. The same exact pets that I had that we weren't allowed to have showed up in PvP. And so... It was to balance it. It was exactly why they did it. It was to balance it because my one pet that like shot out the sticky goo.
Yeah, it was the spider, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Everyone got
No, Trendane. We're not going there yet. You haven't had enough beer. But yes, so I can see that the prestige pets, they're definitely important.
I think so, I think it's good to have. It's the problem, isn't it, when you're discussing things that it always comes down to, well, it's good to have options. It's good to have a mix.
Mm-hmm.
I think, I would love it if there was an absolute metric ton of cosmetic stuff that was available through the cash shop. Not in like so it's not a question of everything in the cash shop is like a tenner and they hope that people buy one thing a month. Maybe have those things as well, but also at the same time
10 cents.
Loads and loads of skins, with the player studio like they do with like they do PlanetSide 2 as well. Loads and loads of stuff, player made things that's just like, a couple of quid here and there. I think I would support that. I'd do both.
We were on this question for like 20 minutes now. All right, so moving on. Legendary Neurotoxin has a real question this time. Should different moons produce different nights? Like, does a planet have multiple moons?
So when I read that question, I was like, I think you might be thinking of Macer and Secunda, which is actually an Elder Scrolls. But it takes every ounce of effort I can muster to keep from mixing those two games up. And I don't know why. I keep almost asking questions about Elder Scrolls. It's like, no, wait, this is not, never mind. Forgot I said anything.
Yeah, so I think, I don't know how many moons they've confirmed here. This is the Discworld, so how many does Discworld have? One, right?
Discworld's just got the one.
Right.
Where the dragons come from.
That's where the dragons live, right?
Yeah. And it creates its own light as well. It's its own light source.
That's right.
It's true story.
You'll have to have read all the different Terry Pratchett books that we're talking about.
Don't test me. Step to me.
Who played... no, never mind. Next question from Mobu Hero.
You're making these up.
I am. Mobu Hero.
Amazing.
During the day and night cycle, assuming AI will have a role, do you guys think the mobs will walk out of their caves or caverns, hideouts, or will they just pop spawn the world?
Did we cover this?
On another show, but yeah, we can cover it again real quick here. I think that they're going to move. I mean, they are going to pop in certain areas, but they're going to be more spawned, but not in the same way that you're talking about in other games. Like, there is no camp in the side of the road that always spawns ogres.
Yeah, there's no mob timer. It's not like, it's not like spawn points where you kill one thing and then 10 minutes later it pops back up again immediately. It's not going to work in that way. As far as mobs moving around, that's definitely going to be a feature. I think after this roundtable question, I think it should be something that happens anyway. If they're planning on having this kind of AI system, I just think it'd be so cool for people in cities to go to bed at nighttime, and maybe even like different NPCs to come out in the city at nighttime. For a more
Night
kind
watch.
of pocket vibe, for the night watch to come out
in the red light district.
Are you seriously trying to test me on this, Domo? You think?
Have long bottom.
The Night Watch as a book. I thought it was absolutely fantastic. Any Pratchett fans in chat? Night Watch is amazing.
Best books in the series, my opinion. I wish they did more.
Oh god, yeah. Just the character arc of Vines is glorious. It's a glorious thing to behold.
It is. I guess the role is a Discworld.
Cyril's like, Discworld!
Yeah!
Ah! Come at me, bro.
All right.
BEC says small gods as well. That's beautiful, that is.
Yeah, that's good. Okay, moving on. Did you have anything to put in there, Trendane? I'm sorry, I skipped over. You look like a serial killer sitting right now. He's got like the hair, and he's like, he's just got that face like, I'm going to kill people when this show's over. All right, question from Knumama. Fishing, yes or no?
Yes.
Trendane, go. What is your thoughts on fishing?
I am an absolute fishing whore. my housemates, whenever we would all play WoW, because we all used to play WoW, they would give me their logins and passwords, and I would do all their fishing for them.
It's relaxing,
because
right?
I love it. Yeah.
It is totally relaxing just to sit there, listen to the water playing in the game, have some music going, and just sit there and just mindlessly cast a fishing pole.
It's like mining in EVE Online, isn't it? It's one of those activities that you can do that is productive, but is like requires minimal input from you. And I think systems like that are actually quite undervalued in MMOs, because those are the times where you've got your hands free to talk in chat and engage in map chat, or just in guild chat or something. Make plans with people, start up a conversation with the person next to you on the lake or whatever. Go a bit silly, go for a swim, maybe get a little frisky in the deep end. You know what I'm saying.
That's Trendane's frisky face.
I think fishing specifically, I think, is brilliant for that. I think lots of secondary activities are cool. Maybe different ones like trapping would be.
What about bow fishing? Trapping is cool too.
Trapping would be cool.
Dynamite fishing, that'd be fun.
It would be really cool to actually use some of the old trapping techniques, like actually show how you set up, because when the zombie apocalypse happens, we have to figure out exactly how to go back to the old days, and we're forgetting all that stuff now. So to have some of those really old cool skills, and you could actually say, I learned how to do that in EverQuest Next. I learned how to rig a trap.
We are alive because of EverQuest Next.
Yeah, when the zombie apocalypse happens and all of us are cut off from the internet, this is what we got.
Wait, what?
Next Tuesday.
I didn't sign
You'll find out. You'll find out.
I've just been stockpiling weapons for years.
Just for fun.
Or just organising a militia. We're just going to take it by force.
Better hurry, man. December 3rd. I mean, next question.
Next question. Okay, Seamus James. Does Locke always carry a knife and a bar of Irish Spring?
Is a machete a knife?
According to Paul Hogan, yes.
Yeah.
No, I don't always carry a knife.
That's not a knife. There's a knife.
I also have a Morning Star that I enjoy.
A flail?
It is less practical, but I think the sort of added frisson that it creates in encounters, more than makes up for that.
But you are a chef, so a flail like that is useful for tenderizing chicken.
Absolutely, yeah. And ultimately, I think even though it is a very mechanical process, I like to consider myself as an artist, a craftsman, if you will.
Yes.
So, like John Lennon said, I'm an artist. You give me a tuber, I'll get you something out of it. So, what was the question?
Something about Irish Spring.
Do I always carry a knife?
And a bar of Irish.
I spend an inordinate amount of time holding large knives, yes.
See, you people think that we skip these questions. We read every single question you ask, no matter how mundane.
People.
We go through the chat log and add all the comments to your files afterwards that we keep on EQ Nexus.
Dumb question about Irish Spring and this guy. All right, next one. Kron Rastaban. If you wanted a seasonal weather system, should it mimic the real world or be accelerated? I think real world. Why not? I mean, that way you could do the seasonal holidays too. Like you could have, when wintertime comes around, we were talking about this before, wintertime comes, you start doing the seasonal stuff then, harvest festival, all that stuff beforehand, and in the spring, the rabbit mating festival, and then all that other stuff throughout the year. I think it's great.
I think a seasonal thing would be amazing. Obviously, there's going to be desert areas, more arid areas, swamps, snowy mountains already. So there will be, there is going to be a large variety of weather. But it would be interesting actually to see if they could implement a seasonal weather thing, like how it would affect different parts of the world. Different zones, if you like, different biomes, whatever you want to call them. Perhaps certain biomes could be affected to a greater or lesser extent by seasonal changes, as it is IRL.
Yeah, Shrouded Hope just says, let's do seasons by the British standards. Rain, 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 partly cloudy, and then rain.
Wait, did it not rain? There was a time it didn't rain.
Yeah, there was a partly cloudy.
That's
your summer.
We had a brutal summer this year. Actually, apparently we're gonna have a snowy winter as well. It's just a little update from
from over the UK,
the western end of Europe.
Isn't this internet thing fancy? Locke is all the way over in England. Trendane's all the way over in California, and I'm in New York. I'm between the two. Sandwich.
There are oceans and deserts between us, but nothing could keep us apart.
Absolutely.
Next.
Yeah, let's move on. All right. Legendary neurotoxin. Should EQN use gendered class names such as sorcerer or sorceress? This is a tricky subject, right? Should all wizards just be called wizards? All magicians just magicians?
Should male characters be able to get pregnant? Think about it.
We can try.
We'll give it a damn good shot, eh?
Hey.
I'll bet.
Stiff upper lip and all that.
Factor 3 sex riot. Is it bad that I don't care?
No, you can not care. I mean, that's fine.
Age of Wushu actually is quite interesting. There's a class that you can only be as a female avatar, if I recall correctly, or you can only start as
like a sorceress.
A particular school that only takes females, and I think there's another one that only takes the boys. But well, I think it falls under the same argument as the race class restrictions that we've heard before. Don't you think that, perhaps if someone was starting a character and they picked a male, but they had no way of knowing later on that there'd be a class that was only open to female avatars, they could probably get a bit annoyed about that.
I think they're kind of just asking about the
just the names.
Just the name, yeah.
I don't care.
I don't think it's a problem.
I don't think it's that big of a deal.
I'm sorry.
It's probably fine.
Damn it! I want to be called a sorceress.
My whole life's been building up to this moment. God.
All right, Alaska Winter 923 inquiry. This is not a question. If every world would be different, how will world transfers be handled if some things you own aren't revealed in the new world? Yeah, so there is a tricky thing there, because they do say that you'll be able to hop from server to server. Mm-hmm. And if on this server you've opened up Halas, and on this server they haven't got around to that yet, it's no longer there. And if you have like a package you were supposed to pick up in Halas on this other server, and on this server there's no Halas, how are you going to get your package?
Was the sort of hopping from server to server just Landmark, or is that confirmed for EverQuest Next?
It's probably just Landmark for right. I mean, right now all they really are talking about is Landmark.
It is an interesting point in terms of changing servers, because people will identify certain servers as being the best servers. The servers that get stuff done. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean. Like recently in Guild Wars 2, they did the new Tequatl fight, and certain servers, like just pulled in players from everywhere because they were the servers that were expected to give it a good shot, and it ended up like a lot of people that had been on the server since day one, were actually locked out of the fight or were stuck in overflow and couldn't get in with their guild buddies because. Right. People who had hopped in because they wanted to be part of that group, but it turned out the group wasn't there to begin with because of all the newcomers. I think it's a difficult thing. I think server transfers should be possible, but whether there could be some sort of server locking system for overpopulated servers, we'll have to wait and see how the structure.
Definitely have to wait and see for that one. But I could see it causing lots of problems.
Yeah, will that get worse the further it goes?
Yeah, or less.
They don't merge, so it is.
Because honestly, the game is going to have a ramp where it takes off, and it'll probably drop. I mean, most of these games do, and after a couple of years, it might pick back up again. I mean, World of Warcraft started out mildly okay, and then it crashed completely, and then it took right off about the time Burning Crusade came out. Most of the people I talked to who played for a while have only started playing during Burning Crusade. They didn't play prior to that.
I'm one.
What is that in your window behind you, Trendane? There's like some kind of alien looking at your window.
Yeah. It's one of the Halloween decorations.
It scared the crap out of me. I just noticed
suction cup to the window. It kind of looks like Morbo from Futurama.
It does.
Yeah.
Okay. Moving on.
Moving on up.
Another one from Alaska Winter. Will town guards be killable? And will it have a level set depending on location or unbeatable force as in EVE Online? A set level. There are no levels.
That's one thing.
Yeah, but even so, we don't know yet. No idea if the town guards are going to be killable. I mean, in EverQuest, you could, right? The first EverQuest, you could kill the guard. But they were pretty strong, badass mofos.
I would say that yes, they should be. But it should be very, very difficult. I mean, depending upon especially the larger the town. As the town gets bigger, the guard should become much more. If it's just like a couple of huts, then it shouldn't be any more difficult to kill them than a caravan.
NPC, yeah.
Right.
But then if it's like a major city, then you.
Yeah.
Like Cuyanos, if you're going.
Quanos. Yeah. I'm purposely mispronouncing it now because everyone keeps beating me up. Matter of fact,
the S is silent. So
Quino.
It's an interesting one, isn't it? I think it comes down to how they want to police players in the sandbox environment. They've said already that there's going to be certain areas that aren't destructible at all. So there's areas that they want to be persistent and consistent. So I'd probably say that there will be areas where I don't think you'd be able to kill them. You might be able to attack them still.
Ami just told me it's Keeganos.
Keeganos.
So that's what I'm pronouncing it from now on. Keeganos.
Well, so the problem is that last time we did this show and he said that the G is silent. It's like gnosis.
But I say
you don't pronounce the G.
I say gnosis.
Right, but you don't pronounce the G. You're not supposed to. It's not pronounced gnosis.
It's gnomes.
It's gnosis.
And gnocchi. All right. Yeah. Moving on. Okay, we're going to just rename the whole town Domo. Just forget the whole gnosis thing. Kinos. All right.
Welcome to Domoville.
It's Domoville, Domo Town. Blue Plane question. Hello, Blue Plane. Do you think they will let people trade plots? I believe they will because they already said they were going to, right?
Yeah, you can give them to people. You can put them up for sale. You can just pick up your flag, move off somewhere else.
And it is a silent G in Geekdomo, so it's Eek-Omo. Okay, next one is boats, water, ocean, piracy, etc. Discuss.
Assassin's Creed 4.
Yes.
I'm for it.
Pirates. I want to see pirates. I want to be able to jump on somebody else's boat and steal their stuff.
Pirates everywhere. Waterways,
ponds. Canals, ponds, rivers.
It's amazing. It's another thing for people to do, isn't it? It's another thing it's another goal for people to set themselves when they start the game. What do I want to do? And there'll be some people that are like, I want to be a merchant trader and sail the seven seas, and then because of that there'll be other people that go, I want to steal their stuff, and because of that there'll be people that's like, I want to fight the people that are stealing the other people's stuff to get stuff from them, and it's possibility space, I believe is the phrase. But it's another goal for people, isn't it? It's another option, and I think it'd be cool.
That is one thing we haven't really talked about. Can you build vehicles in this game? Like, can you build carts? Because if you can build a cart, you could build a boat. It'd be really neat to be able to build your own boat.
Well, it's a whole other avenue for crafting, isn't it? We talk about guild halls. Maybe you could build a guild galleon.
Oh yeah, or a Viking.
You could pretty much just practically take the mechanic from Vanguard, because you could build boats in that. I mean, you had to bring together like 3 or 4 different, crafting types because you had to have a woodworker, somebody who could build the thing. You had to have a stonemason. You had to have an outfitter who could make the sails and the ropes and everything. Yeah,
it could be a real there could be real big ticket items.
Yeah, they should be
for crafting that is like non-gear related. We talk about progression a lot when we talk about this game. Perhaps that could be something. As a status symbol as well. Having a fancy ship that could definitely be.
And it should take a long time to build too.
Yes, a couple weeks of real life time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you should be able to make like a raft out of like tule reeds and paddle your way across a lake if you need to.
If you have to, right. So that's easy to build. Or
and going all the way up to a 32 gunner or whatever
that would rock.
I'm not a nautical man.
With AK-47 sticking out of the sides.
You could do sieging of towns and stuff. It'd be great. All right, so yes, we think water and everything would be fun in this game. All right, so the reason I'm skipping ahead is because the next question actually relates to that. If enough people combine plots, think we'll be able to dig a river from ocean to a canyon and fill it up, or with just a bunch of lava? I tried doing this in Minecraft. I tried connecting two bodies of water, and for whatever reason, as the water traveled through my little canal I made, it started dropping off. Because I think it's soaked into the ground. So you could probably.
I know the way it works in Minecraft is there's source blocks. Where if you have a source water block, it will create water up to a certain distance. The same with lava; it will create it up to a certain distance. I think so far the answer for EverQuest is we still don't know. We haven't been told. The question's been asked about how liquids are going to work in the environment, and we haven't heard anything. We haven't seen anything. Obviously people are very interested, but nothing yet.
Which also touches on the question that I had.
What's that?
The other weather question that I was going to bring up.
Okay. Do you want to ask that now, Trendane? Because if it's
sure. We've touched on it from a couple of different angles. So, and it had to do with the water voxel thing, that it would just and flow like we saw.
Yeah.
And what I found, if they put weather systems in place and you get a pretty bad rainstorm, are there going to be little micro water voxels that make up the rain, and will they then begin to pool into ravines and cause a flash flood that's going to go right through the middle of a town? And
that would rock. Think about griefing that way.
As long as you weren't there,
you could build up something on a hillside and let all the water and mud mix into it, and then you just open it up and let it crash to the town.
And then does that open up opportunities for damming rivers as well, and creating reservoirs? Or starving a population center of vital water that they need.
Turning the desert into farmable.
It's easy. The town go, we haven't got any water, and decide they want to move on somewhere.
You could irrigate the desert and turn it into farmable land.
and then there's the fact that building a dam is not as easy as some people might think it is. Because you either have to divert the water, build the dam, and then restore the original water's path, or you have to somehow either build the thing really damn fast before the water gets up and things starts pouring over the top.
Yeah.
That don't work, by the way. Or you have to leave a gap in the bottom for the water to continue to move out, and then you build the dam around it, and then at that last bit is plugging off that hole so that it starts to fill up and backfill. But those can be very difficult. Diverting the course is the easiest way.
Right. Very cool. I think it's interesting. It's probably something I'm going to try right away. I'm going to find a nice plot of land, and I'm going to dig a hole or a trench and see if I can divert the water. See what happens.
No one has magic.
It would be good, How else are you gonna build lava moats for your evil fortresses?
Yeah, definitely lava moats with lava crocodiles in them.
Yeah, lava crocs.
They're dangerous.
Aren't those dragons?
Yes. Don't get technical.
They're so cute. Like the one on the poster, it's adorable. You just want to squidge up his little face. Oh my god, I love it.
Unless he eats your face.
No, he won't.
All right, long question from Mr. Seamus James.
Hey, Seamus.
Will scripted rallying calls after the initial one at game release have to occur in a random order on a different server so that they don't become predictable? For example, server A completes a loss before server B. Server A starts a new rallying call before server B has completed the first. Is server B going to feel like they were spoiled by seeing, I like that word, by seeing what the second rallying call is on server A? I do know that they are going to make sort of those websites where you could find this stuff out like Wowhead kind of redundant because you won't need them anymore. Each server, what triggers them on one server is not going to trigger them on the other server. They did say that. But what do you guys think?
I forget which interview it was, but I know Doe Georgeson said that there were, they had some interesting ideas of how to combat that. But as well at the same time, if different servers approach problems in different ways, or if different servers have large prominent guilds that decide to focus on one particular activity and like tip the scales in a certain direction, I think the idea is a rallying call isn't as linear as some people might think. I think that there's probably a lot of different success states for a rallying call when it starts out, and whichever one of those tips first is the sort of direction that it goes in. But as well, I think that the rallying call as a whole will probably be a self-contained event, so that it doesn't keep branching indefinitely, because then that would just be insane. It'd be impossible to deal with from a development standpoint. But there would. The way that I imagine it's going to work is that you will have the one rallying call that will have different success states that trigger different events, and hopefully across the different servers there'll be a few different outcomes, and then when the next one starts, hopefully there'll be enough of a difference to impact the world in a certain way, so that maybe different success states were more likely for the next one.
But they did say that the triggers are going to be different.
I can't get my head around. I'm sure that they've got a lot of really interesting ideas, and just the nature of the game with the sandbox environment, and the way that the AI is going to work. I think for the NPCs making decisions, for mobs making decisions, I think server to server we could potentially see very different environments, just based on the way that players act within them, hopefully.
What do you think, Trendane?
So
you're such a blonde tonight.
I know, it's just, I don't know what happened. I was trying to peroxide my hair, and I think I grabbed that toilet bowl cleaner thing instead. This is like the 2000 flushes, and look what it did. I mean, I split ends like crazy, and I just didn't know what to do. That doesn't quite answer the question, does it?
No.
Well, I was actually going to say that I would expect, I would think that they would stagger them across different servers.
Yeah,
and
I think they're going to. At least not stagger them, but randomize.
I can't imagine them sitting in a meeting and making that decision to be like, the rallying call, it goes at its own pace and it takes this amount of time. No, or like it completes when it completes, but then the next one just starts, and across all the different servers, it's always going to be the same one next. I just think, like, why? Do you know what I mean? Like, because if you're on one server and you just see what happens on another server, and there's always going to be like one server will just steamroll ahead, because everyone that is interested in doing that will all congregate on that server. And they'll all just they'll steamroll these rallying calls to get them to the end, and they'll get further ahead, and then there'll be quieter servers, and the dedicated RP server that's always like the fun one where they just want to hang out and have a good time will be like, they'll be so far behind because they'll all be in character, and they'll have like evil people trying to stop the good people from doing the run. Imagine like being on the server that another server is like 8 months ahead, and you know exactly what's coming from the rallying calls for the next 8 months. Is that just not?
I don't think you're going to be server hopping.
They must have a plan.
They're not going to let you server hop as easily as I think they're going to for Landmark.
Like just looking at that though, like going on the website and going, this happens and this happens and this happens. Oh well, that's that for the next 6 months. That
But if the triggers are random, then what the order might be different.
Right, but what he's saying is the dragon attacks Halas after they've finished this building, and then this other thing happens. So then people are going to know, oh god, the dragon's going to attack. So they're going to have to randomize the next thing that happens in line. So that maybe the dragon.
Which is what I meant.
Oh, I see what you're saying. I'm sorry.
When I'm saying that they're staggered, I mean that they're
completely randomized.
Yeah, pretty much.
That would be cool. Like if they have different events that are hooked together through some random scheme. All right.
I just think even like what I was saying before about a rallying call being a self-contained thing, it can't be like that, can it? Like it can't always end in the same way,
right?
Mm-hmm.
Because that would just be lame for like a 3 or 4 month event. To go through, let's say, one server just happens to hit a couple of triggers quickly, and then suddenly they're weeks ahead of the other servers, but the other servers can see exactly what happens. Like that to me,
it's going to be tricky.
It's not compelling. Yeah, it will be triggered. But I'm just saying, like if every server has the same rallying calls that are working towards the same outcomes,
it might be done a little bit like Mass Effect. With the Mass Effect storyline.
Yeah, but that's with that though. It branches to greater sense, but it always comes back. Right.
So that's what I'm saying. They might have to do that, but the branches are different enough on every server. But at some point, it comes back to a similar storyline arc that follows through. But they do want each server to be kind of unique.
Yeah, I imagine. I mean, with such a long time frame for an event like this, they must have like a specific plan, and I'm just wondering, how they could cope, with the development cost for something like that. If they're gonna have a lot of different servers and they want the experience to be different on every server, how could they possibly? I mean, if even in a Mass Effect game, they can't have the story branch in more than one direction. What other games are there? Like in The Witcher 2, like you make a decision at the start and it goes one way and the other way.
Right.
But that's still only 2 arcs, and that's a AAA single player title that you're not dealing with thousands and thousands of players across different servers, all making different decisions and performing different activities at different rates.
It really is.
How can you possibly make that? Then they're just creating the theme park problem for themselves, aren't they? Because they'll have to create story and create content.
All right, we got to move on here.
I'm talking too much about this. I do apologize.
Okay, 2 more questions and we're done. Okay, from Gordon Q, to each of you, which is your favorite crafting profession? Go quickly.
Easy.
What?
Wildcraft.
Wildcraft?
Wildcraft or bushcraft, taking anything that you find in nature, herbs, animal skins, what have you, wood, making shit out of them. That covers herbalism, leatherworking, wildcraft. It doesn't really cover mining and blacksmithing and stuff, but herbalism and leatherworking and shit like that. Yeah.
Native type skills. All right. Yep. Lock.
I like things like enchanting and things like cooking and making potions that grant temporary buffs. I think that they're interesting.
I like blacksmithing. In real life, I learned how to do chainmail and do armor crafting that way, so I like that. So I'd like to do that in the game too. All right, last question from Legendary Neurotoxin. How should kill loot be distributed? Should everyone have to split the same pool of loot with need, greed, and all? Should it automatically be split based on participation? Should everyone have their own unique loot? Quick answer.
Oh, it's so difficult.
All right, Trendane.
Well, part of what we discussed before that I think it could actually work very well is that mobs, especially big ones, don't drop loot. They drop components to make loot. Mm-hmm. And then everybody gets a share that's comparable to however much effort they put into, the kill.
Okay. Luck?
I like the idea of having to sort of harvest loot off drops. So like if you would have some sort of skill associated with getting different items or materials off whatever it was that you killed. At the same time, I don't know whether people having individual loot or having communal loot would be more compelling in this system, because we just don't know enough yet about how gear and loot and everything is going to work, what kind of drop rates that we can expect. But I think if you kill a wolf, it should have a wolf pelt on it, and it should have some teeth on it,
wolf eyes,
maybe some innards that someone could use.
I really think they need to pick that up, because that was the worst part about these other MMOs. You play a game and you had to go get 4 wolf teeth, and you'd kill 27 wolves to get 4 wolf teeth. You know that you didn't smash everyone's face that bad.
The big thing about that, though, isn't it? It's the kind of Skinner box thing that they always go for, where they want you to feel like that next mob is going to be the one that drops the exotic.
So then make it something more rare. Make it, infected wolf ovary or something like that, Where it's only, how many wolves you have to kill to get one of those?
Sure, yeah.
Not only teeth. Females.
Yeah, exactly. You got to find all the female wolves, and you got to find, okay. All right, so...
the same mats would be cool.
All right, so we are going to wrap up now, but the big secret, do you want to say what it is? For those who are still sticking around, we can neither confirm or deny that within the next 2 weeks, we will be hearing some information about... Say it. Beta for EverQuest Next Landmark.
Beta.
Over there.
This is the official announcement of the possible announcement that maybe in 2 weeks-ish we'll be talking about the possibility of beta.
Maybe talking about Landmark Beta. We are reading the tea leaves, and everything that we can find points that something very, very soon, within the next couple of weeks, we will hear something solid.
This says Omid is a vicious tease.
Yeah, and so we're ratting him out right now and telling about
ratting him out?
Yeah.
You know how he feels about the Ratanga.
Oh, I know. That's why I'm throwing it at him. We are reading the wolf entrails, says Gray.
Hey.
So yeah, everybody. Very soon.
Yes, it's time to stoke the fire in the.
So get your affairs in order.
Train. Let's do it.
Get your affairs in order. Buy yourselves Depends. Get yourself a urethral catheter if you need one, and hire somebody to clean your house. Yeah. You might not even need that. Just somebody to clean the area around your desk where you're going to be sitting for 2 weeks, 3 weeks solid.
Advice for life. Mm-hmm. That's what we do. Yeah.
Exactly. All right, everybody. So this is Geekdomo, Locke, and Trendane saying thank you for being here tonight. Remember, everybody, EverQuest Nexus is the premier forum for EverQuest Next. If you want to chat about all this stuff over there, come on over and make sure you set up an account over there, and you can chat with all of us. And we will be back next Friday. Same bat time, same bat channel. I know a lot of you are saying that you wished you knew when we're going to be doing this. We're going to try to do it every single Friday at this time so that make it more normal for everybody. If anything comes up, make sure you're following on Twitter and Facebook and all these other things. Also, the video will be available on myself, Locke, and Trendane's and EverQuest Nexus YouTube page, so you can watch them on any of our pages. And there will be, at least on my page, there will be annotations. You can click our faces and subscribe to our YouTube channels if you'd like. Okay. Awesome. No need to make it next week. Thank you.
Be careless.
Be careless. Until next time, see ya. Bye-bye.